this is your sign to finish your island. Welcome to my video. Hi, I'm Momo, and if you're anything like me, then you have some crazy perfection paralysis when it comes to Animal Crossing New Horizons. In this video, I'm going to share some tips that I use to actually finish my island. So if you're interested in hearing that, keep on watching. My first tip is to stop looking for inspiration. Okay, if you're anything like me, then you go to Pinterest, you come to YouTube. Those are great spots to get some inspiration, some design ideas, and you just get flooded with so many beautiful images of people's islands and the different builds that they've made. When I started this island a year ago, that's exactly what I did. I wanted to do a forest core. I've never done it before. So I started looking up images just to get an idea of like what other people were doing. And I got so overwhelmed that I had not touched this island for pretty much 11 months. And that is exactly the wrong way to play. And while I'm on the topic, I just want to say, do not compare yourself to the island reps who make these perfectly Instagrammable islands. Everyone's at a different place in the game. Everyone has played the game for a different amount of time, so that means we all have a different skill level, and we also all have different access to the different items, the different codes. So keep that in mind while you're scrolling through looking at these images, and also be mindful that some people do play the game modded, so you'll see things that you're like, oh, how did they do that? And it's because their game is modded. They're not playing it vanilla, if you're playing it vanilla like I do. And look, I know we're all going to do this. We're all going to look for inspiration somewhere. So what is the resolution here? I would recommend just looking up a couple of photos, scrolling for just like even less than 10 minutes, or watching just a few videos to get that initial inspiration and idea of what you want on your own island, and then moving on to playing the game. Which brings me to my second tip, which is just build your island. Just play the game. I get it. You literally have an empty island. You probably have 5 different theme ideas. That can be so overwhelming, but you need to start working. So just play the game. Okay, so you have 5 different theme ideas. Cool. Just start laying them out in different sections of the island and go from there. I mean, you'll probably figure out which idea you like best for this island, what your vibe is at the moment. You'll figure it out as you play. Don't know where to start? Just decorate your entrance or your home. Just do one area at a time. Cut it down into manageable chunks. You don't have to think of the whole flow of your island all at once, thinking of like where the paths are gonna go, where you want to have a little cafe. You don't need all of that to start with. You just need to get started one section at a time. And this leads me to my next tip, which is be okay with making mistakes. It's a learning process. Most things in this game can be moved, picked up, or even removed completely, and that is because it left us some grace to make mistakes, to explore, to really build the island that you're envisioning in your head. I know it's tempting to think, well, I watched this tutorial and they just did it so perfect the first time. Is that really true? Really? I've watched my fair share of live streams, and people are always testing out ideas, moving things, and putting them back into storage, even flattening whole areas of their island after putting in how many hours working on it. It's okay to make mistakes. Honestly, I'll even say you should be making mistakes when you play this game. It's all a part of the exploring and the building process. It's built into the gameplay. Still feeling overwhelmed? Then I have one more tip for you, which is to simplify by going with normcore. Normcore is a nostalgic type of approach that leans heavily into the items that were available when the game was first released. I started playing the game in 2021, so not too familiar with that concept as more was available in the game at that time. But when I first played the game, I didn't do treasure islands, I didn't time skip, I didn't do a lot of the things that I do now. So I kind of understand the feeling of the nostalgia back to when you played the game with just the items that it had. It was just so simple. There was less decisions that you had to make as far as what do I want to put on my island. And today I feel like there are just so many options, which is incredible when you think about it, that the community is so active and so creative. I love to see it, but also at the same time, when it comes to building my own island, I get crazy decision fatigue. Like, you just see 10 different paths that you can't use 10 different paths on your island. Like, maybe you could make that work, but for me, it like jumbles my brain and makes me not play the game because I don't know what I'm doing. And I kind of stumbled upon this by accident because on my current island that I've been showing you right now, Mars Canopy, I decided I didn't want to add the Able sisters just because I didn't want another building on my island. But I didn't realize that's where you get access to the design codes. In hindsight, it was kind of a blessing in a way because I was like, oh, well, I guess I can't use design codes for this island. And I kind of felt like it set me free. I could actually move forward, just try and collect as many items that I thought would fit on this island within my theme and go from there. Just try decorating in different ways, taking it back down, trying it again. And it just felt a lot easier than having to look up, well, do I want this path? Will this path go here or will that path go there? It just feels like the paths are like another whole flow of the island that I didn't want to think about, if I'm being honest. Another thing to simplify in your gameplay is to not terraform. Maybe controversial opinion, but you don't need to terraform. Playing the island the way that it is totally doable. That's why I did this island as well. I don't have any creator codes. I did 0 terraforming. I just went with the island as it was, which kind of worked for me. This is a forest core island, so maybe that's a little bit easier for this theme idea. But if the idea of building up different areas, figuring out where you want your river, your water, your lakes, bodies of water to go on your island freaks you out, you don't want to make a decision on that, then don't make a decision on that. It's totally okay to just play the game in a simpler version like I am. And you can definitely still build a beautiful island that you can be proud of because you actually finished an island. And in the end of the day, I think that's the important part of this game, is just creating the island you're thinking of, making your forever island, whichever it may be. Just play the game. Here's a bonus tip for what I did to get over my perfection paralysis. Over the last year, I've really spent a lot of time playing Happy Home Paradise, the DLC for Animal Crossing New Horizons. I know not everyone has access to the DLC, but if you do, I would highly recommend playing that. You do custom little houses for the different villagers and all different themes. They each have a different request. You can also build different facilities on your Happy Home Paradise hub there. And it's just super cute. It really kept me engaged with playing the game instead of putting it down because I felt so burnt out trying to build this island. It's really simple to do some of these houses, even I would say in less than 20 minutes, but you could definitely spend more than an hour if you wanted to, just building and creating. And I feel like doing this really helped me learn some more design skills than I had a year ago. It's also helped me learn what items are in the game because you have access to a catalog of items from all of the villagers whose homes you've built in all these different types of themes. I feel like online I kind of see the same theme again and again, so it was cool being able to learn like, oh, I didn't know that was in the game. And this is me playing the game 3 years later, still learning. Thank you so much, chill friends, for joining me on this video. I hope these tips are helpful if you also feel stuck in building your island. If you have any additional tips, drop me a comment. I'd love to hear it because Perfection paralysis is real. Decision fatigue is even realer, especially when it comes to this game for some reason, which I really hate because I really love this game. So I hope we're all able to get over this and just build the dreamy islands that we have in our imaginations. I'm hoping to do a island tour next and a dream address release for Mars Canopy, so stay tuned for that. Until the next one, chill friends, do what makes you happy. Bye.